It is time for Saturday night's main event 2026, the year of TKO predictions. Hey guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, where today we are going to predict one of the two pay-per-views or PLEs that WWE is having in the next 2 weeks here, the first of 2026, which is a Saturday night's main event, I believe coming to you from Montreal. Is that right?
Uh, it's either Montreal or Ottawa. I don't remember.
I think it's Montreal. And right now there are three announced matches for this show. And we are running out of time for our season one of predictions. I believe we've got four PLEs left until we get to season two of when WrestleMania kicks off our season two. Right now, yours truly is in the lead at 53, followed by Mr. T at 51 and Sean at 50. So we are gonna give you guys our predictions, talk about each one of the matches, and keep this train rolling. So let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you think, what do you think would be the winners and losers of the matches? Where do you think we're gonna go from here? Do you think we're gonna have any surprises? And do you think there's going to be an additional match added? Because we are recording this on Thursday. SmackDown is still to happen, and then obviously this may lead into some stuff for the Royal Rumble. So. We're here to break it all down. As always, I am Mike, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill. And Sean, let's kick it off. We've got three matches for the show. Let's start off what is likely to be the opener, and that is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. Who do you have
So
and why?
first off, I'd like to say that I'm pretty much resigned to the fact that I'm most likely not going to catch you, and I'm not going to pre-congratulate you because you never know. But this one, first of all, I feel like three matches is just most of these Saturday Night main events end up being four matches. So I find
Mm,
it kind of odd that there's only three so far. Um, I think that Cody being Fatu, as of where we stand, makes sense as the opener. And as much as I think that Fatu should win, I think that would be the smart play, especially if you're going to be like pushing him. How do you go against Cody like this? And like, it's hard to look at any match Cody Rhodes is in and not pick him. You know what I mean? Unless it's
hmm
like some super like high marquee match, like him versus Roman or something. I feel like him versus any sort of other not quite top of the card talent, it makes it almost impossible to pick against. That being said, since I know I'm not catching you, I'm going to stick with Jacob Fatu because that would be the smart play. But I think Cody ends up winning, but I'm picking Fatu.
Actually, to be honest with you, although I'm not just doing this to be a jerk and not letting you gain any points, I also was going to pick Jacob Fatu because I don't think that Cody really needs this. And I think that whatever the involvement or the storyline behind the mystery attacker that we've been talking about for a little while here, that WWE has been trying to tell with Jacob Fatu, I think that is going to come to a head and maybe it causes Cody to get disqualified. But I think Jacob needs the win more
Yeah.
here, right? Cody doesn't need this at all. Cody just lost to Drew, and we could certainly do a downward spiral thing for Cody. I'm pretty confident Cody is not going to win the Royal Rumble.
No.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think it makes more sense and it's better for Jacob to pick up the win here. So I too am going to go with Jacob Fatu to pick up the win here.
So that being said, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the attacker? If it's going to come to a head here, which I agree with you, I think that this makes the perfect sense to have that person revealed and that all come to a head here. Who do you think it's going to be?
Mm, I don't know. I don't. I mean, like, we initially just kind of thought like, oh, it's Drew McIntyre, right? But like, I'm not really sure if they're gonna go down that road, and then it's just like, oh, well, we're gonna eventually put Jacob in a match against Drew McIntyre and just kind of go that route because Jacob himself kind of seems like he's a bit unsure, or he's not like he's just going after everybody because like the way he's been interacting with Cody doesn't make it seem like it was Cody who did it. right? And he
Right.
did initially come out and just beat up Drew McIntyre, so it kind of led you to believe that it was just Drew McIntyre that did it. But I mean, I I don't know, right?
I mean,
And there might even be just more to this story than like to begin with, though. I've seen some people fantasy book this to state that like Jacob Fatu is working for Dwayne, right? Because Dwayne's got unfinished business with Cody, and we this is how we might see Dwayne at WrestleMania. So I don't really know, but I mean, if we're to believe what we've seen so far, I would assume you have to believe it's true.
so I mean, this whole situation revolves around the fact that Jacob attacked Drew, and literally the only reason Jacob and Cody are fighting is because Cody attacked Jacob because he
Yep.
interfered in their match.
Yep.
I don't think it was either Drew or Cody that attacked Fatu. As much fun as I think it would have been to have it be Cody that actually attacked him, and the storyline you could tell there with like him using his quasi heel tactics again, I think it's going to be somebody that you don't expect. And I think it's going to be somebody that you haven't seen in a while. And I think it's going to be someone who used to be part of a tag team, and I think they're being broken up. I think it's going to be Montez Ford.
That's really off the wall. I mean, that would be cool. But I think one or both of them is injured, and I think that's why they're off of television. But I could be mistaken there. But you might be right. That could be a lot of fun, and maybe he'll finally get the singles run that we've all been wanting for him for years now, right? Like I'm thinking like at least 2 years now. We've wanted a singles run for Montez. So I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that could be awesome.
So I'm not just
So,
randomly spouting this either. I've heard rumblings that they've been talking about going through with the breakup of the Street Profits, and that's
mhm.
part of why you haven't seen them on TV. And what better place if you want to jumpstart the more talented Shawn Michaels of that group?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Um, Yeah, I could see it, and I could like it, and I think it'd be a really good kickstart to a solo run for Montez. But we'll certainly have to see where it goes. So that's interesting, though. It's something interesting to think about. I have a feeling since they like to play those Saturday nights main event shows relatively safe, we probably won't see anything. But
Yeah.
you never know.
This is a
Moving
weird
on.
one though.
Yeah,
With the fact that the Rumble's out of the country, you might see more stuff at this one than you normally would.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna play this super safe. I was thinking initially like maybe you see Chris Jericho show up here. I
No, he's
mean
a Rumble guy.
something. I don't know. I mean Chris Jericho made a big stink about the Saudi Arabia stuff, and I just wonder if like he re-debuts in Saudi Arabia. Like I mean the people who watch AEW are going to say whatever they want to anyway about him, so I don't think he really gives a crap about that.
No,
And I do feel like WWE fans would welcome him back with open arms. So I guess it doesn't really matter what he said in the past. And obviously CM Punk went there and he
yep.
more or less apologized. So I don't know. But we'll see, I guess. But maybe we'll see something there. Um, Takes us to the match for the women's tag team titles between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Um, I'll go first with this one. Rhea and Io are going to retain. I think easily here. There's no reason why Liv, just because spoiler alert, next week when we do our predictions video, Liv is in like the final two or three for me of people I think are going to win the Royal Rumble. So I don't foresee them picking up the tag team titles here. I don't think it makes sense. I think very likely the tag team titles are going to probably go either to I was gonna say Nia and Lash, or maybe back to Alexa and Charlotte, or maybe even to Bailey and Lyra. I just I don't foresee Liv and Roxanne capturing those titles. I don't think it's necessary for what they're trying to do with the Judgment Day right now, and I think Liv has got bigger fish to fry.
I can agree with you on pretty much everything you said. And the other big thing is it's too soon for Rhea and Io to drop the titles. They've had them for what, 2 weeks? Like
Hmm.
they're too big of a pairing to drop those titles that fast. This isn't a situation of Becky and Lyra like they did after WrestleMania. You're not going to put the belts on your two of your top five women just to have them turn around and drop it in less than a month. And like you said, Liv 100% has bigger fish to fry. She is for sure in my top four for the Rumble. I haven't fully decided where I'm going from there. We'll see next week. But the this also can be used to continue pushing the gaslighting and the dissension being brought on by Sonny back there. Um, the gaslighting and dissension of the Judgment Day.
Guest host on the show right there.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think that makes just too much sense right now. So, so we're gonna go with that. Which takes us to the final match, which will likely be the main event, and this will be the person to determine who is going to challenge Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, and it is a fatal four-way between Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Damian Priest, and Randall Keith Orton. So, who do you got and why?
So I went back and forth on this one for a little while. Originally, I was on thinking it was going to be Damian Priest, but then I was thinking about the fact that it's Saudi Arabia, and I could see WWE going the Sami Zayn route. But part of me still thinks that there is the chance that we see Drew versus Sammy at Mania to finally give us the Sammy finally beating Drew. So I don't think that gets him to this title match. Plus, he has whatever's going on between him and Trick Williams. Because there's no shot that it's Trick Williams. It's way too soon. The last time they did something with somebody this soon was when they had Ricochet randomly win that Battle Royale and get squashed by Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia.
I remember
That
that.
when he came out wearing his girlfriend's shorts. But they I don't foresee them doing that to Trick. So I think I'm back on I think it's gonna be Damian Priest. The only thing that I think would derail this is if WWE did something stupid, like brought Aleister Black back. And I hope to God that's not the case. But I'm gonna lock it in with Damian Priest winning and going on to face Drew at the Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that Sammy and Trick are probably going to cancel each other out. I don't, it's way too soon for Trick. You're right about that. And Sammy, for me, also, I think is one of my dark horses to win the Royal Rumble, assuming Drew keeps the belt until then. I
Yep.
mean, maybe there's some universe where we just decide to do Sammy and Drew at Saudi Arabia and Sammy wins, you know? Um, I know that I read that they're not planning on keeping the belt on Drew for an extended period of time. I just feel like the backlash of Drew winning like 2 weeks ago and then immediately
Yep.
losing would probably piss a lot of people off. Um, and haven't we done Drew and Randy before?
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't think we've ever done. No, we've done Drew and Priest before too, haven't we?
Not for a super long thing. They had like a 1 month thing after Priest cashed in on Drew. Um, but
That's
then
right.
they just had the rematch, and then that was it because Punk and Drew were having their feud at the time. So
Right, that's right.
they never got to have an actual feud.
Yeah, so there's a pre-existing story there as well. And I feel
And
like
they even
yeah,
brought it up.
yeah, and I feel like just because we've already done Drew and Randy, I don't think we're gonna go that route again. So yeah, I'm torn between Priest or Sammy. And I feel like the Sammy story is better and it's Saudi Arabia. And you know what? What the hell? I've got a big enough cushion on you. I'm gonna go with Sammy. I think Sammy just makes too much sense to me. I don't think he necessarily has to win. But he'll get a huge pop at the Royal Rumble. Um, but I think him being in a title match, and hell, it'd be a really cool moment if he won in Saudi Arabia, if he found a way to, if they had him beat Drew there. I don't think it's likely to happen. Priest probably makes the most sense, but you never know. WWE could just pick Randy Orton to win this, Like I honestly have no idea. I think the only realistic one who's definitely not going to win is Trick. But
Yep,
I could make a case for any one of the other three guys. So I'm going to go with Sammy, and maybe he'll win his first title at the Royal Rumble, and maybe it'll be Sammy versus Roman for the title at WrestleMania. So,
that would be goofy.
we'll
Um,
see how it goes. But yeah, so let's take this opportunity to do not a bonus point, but just for something fun to add to the show here, because I have a feeling we're going to come up with the same thing here. But usually these Saturday night's main events have more than three matches, sometimes four or five. So since we only have three, let's take the opportunity to take a look at SmackDown and see where we have the potential to add a fourth match. And then also given that the Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia, any surprise appearances that you may think may occur in this show. So, what do you got for me?
um, I don't know if there's anybody who could really be returning yet that would be worthwhile to go. I mean, as far as matches go, there's only two of them from SmackDown that I think could be. The first one is the lesser option, but for a while now they've been setting up an issue between Johnny Gargano and like Axiom and Nathan Frazier. I could see them maybe doing something for that, for the fact that Axiom's still trying to get his mask back and all that.
Mhm.
But I think the more likely candidate is you're going to see a U.S. Open challenge match for Mello. But I think it's going to be different because I think you're going to have either somebody that I can't currently think of, like a returning person, like maybe a Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, or a Raw superstar as the challenger.
Mhm. Interesting. I think we are going to get a match between the MFTs and the Wyatts.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I'm praying to the wrestling gods that we take the titles off of the cartoon characters and put them on a real wrestling team. And I could also see, to your point about the US Open Challenge, I could see Tama Tonga as well challenging
Yeah,
for the US Open title, maybe even winning it. That would be pretty cool.
yeah.
But I like the idea of the Wyatts being on this show and probably doing that because I don't know truthfully if you're going to put them in the Royal Rumble or not. Maybe no, probably not. I don't think they're going to be in the Royal Rumble. If they're not,
Howdy might be.
if they are not in the Royal Rumble, some of them might like Solo might be in the Royal Rumble. But like, if they are not in the Royal Rumble, then I think that that match is going to occur next weekend at the Royal Rumble show, and then you'll have a 4-on-4 kind of match there as well, because I definitely think that all those guys are going to be there. I hate to waste like 8 spots in the Royal Rumble on all of them because none of them are going to win. So I would not enjoy very much wasting all those spots in the Royal Rumble on all of those guys you know, but I guess I suppose we'll see.
So
Yeah.
I think your tag match might happen at the Rumble because that gives you an excuse to take Loomis and Gacy out of the Rumble and two of the MFTs out of the Rumble. Because I can guarantee you we'll probably see Howdy in the Rumble and probably see Solo.
Hmm.
Might also see I could see seeing Tama in the Rumble and maybe the big guy, just because he's one of the big guys. Honestly, I think they're going to need a couple big guys because I think we're going to see a very large return at the Rumble. Um, but
The Beast.
no, not that one. A certain luchador who is 9 feet tall.
Certain luchador who's 9 feet tall.
His name starts with O and ends with S.
Oh, really? Omas?
Almost. Omos was in. He's been down in AAA. Um,
I
So,
have heard that, and actually, I heard that allegedly Gable's ready to come back too.
yep.
So
Um,
that yeah, I would
so
imagine we'll see him too.
I think you see that gives you only two or three members of those groups that could be in the Rumble. So I think you're more likely to see the tag match there. And I really do. I think I agree with you. It is time to put those belts on the MFTs.
Yeah, or we could just we could just do a match with Jade Berg and Jordan Grace.
Yeah, Barry Jordan, unfortunately.
Just a thought.
God, it makes me
They
sick.
might save that for the Royal Rumble as well, because I would imagine one of those women's titles is going to be defended. So
Yeah,
we could do another match between uh Raquel and Stephanie, or we could just
yeah.
do Jade Berg versus Jordan Grace. But I would imagine we're going to get one of those matches at the Royal Rumble.
Is Stephanie's injury legit or is it just storyline? Do we know?
I think it's storyline.
Okay. Then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe got a final blow off to that feud.
Yeah, and then we can actually start the build to WrestleMania. Whoever I think if Liv ends up winning it, like Liv and Stephanie makes too much sense for the program
Yeah,
for that. And then if Jade Berg is still the champion by WrestleMania, then it's got to be Bianca. Nobody
as
else
long
makes
as
sense.
she's as long as
Maybe
she's healthy.
Yeah, maybe Tiffany, but nobody else makes sense. Um, okay, cool. Do you have any surprise returns here then?
I
Think we're
don't
going to
think
see
so.
Chris Jericho or
I no,
Seth Rollins?
I think Jericho is a Rumble um return, and I think Rollins would have to be a Rumble return too, because I think the pop for that, even if it's not here in the US, would be gigantic.
Yeah,
Because
that's
nobody's really expecting Rollins to be back yet. And if he pulled a Cena and was back way sooner than expected, that would I mean think back to that when Cena came back like 6 months before he was supposed to, and how big that pop was when he came out at number 30. That I think Rollins would get just as big of a pop.
yeah, and people are people are seeing a lot of Rollins on TV. If you follow football at all, Rollins has been all over the place lately. So he's been doing a lot of TV. So should be interesting. Yeah, I agree
Yep.
with you. I don't think we're going to see anybody at this show. I initially thought that that's what they were going to use this show for, but I no longer think that they're going to do that.
Now they play these two safe. These Saturday
Yeah,
night main events are literally like the safest way you can go.
yeah, I agree with that. So yeah, so that is our show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what your predictions are down in the comments below. We are going to have a live recap of this show after the show happens, and we'll break it all down for you as we always do. And we do have some more NFL content coming for you guys later this week, where we are going to talk about all the happenings down at One Bills Drive, as well as look forward to the conference championship games this weekend, and we'll give our picks for those as well. So, with that, I've been Mike, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill, and have yourselves a fantastic evening. Enjoy the Saturday night's main event, and take care.